Please excuse my tardiness. Also, this is going to be a very short one because I ordered Chinese. And that has to happen. But what might have to happen is Redbar. Okay, Redbar. You guys are gonna see something ready. And Terry's. Please allow me to introduce myself. My name is Humpty. I'm just kidding. So that should be working. Mic will be much easier to hear once I get there. Interact. Un momento, por favor. I'm going in.
Bottle of alcohol, Jules. You would know. What are they called? She goes like this. Imagine this is a little red bottle of alcohol, and she goes like this on the counter. And he goes, is that all you want? And she's like, yep. And he's like, you want to enter a phone number for the savings? And he's like, nah. And just rudely paying. So I found that to be very off-putting. I wish these black chicks would be a little bit nicer in Walgreens. And then this guy comes in, tattoos all over his head. He was all covered in grease and filth. It's a scary place to be. And I was thinking,
this is where we left off. But
where do people? I mean,
hold on one second.
There's not a safe place to go anymore. You know, like I'm endangering myself. As a 41-year-old man, I like to keep myself out of dangerous situations. Like I'm not going to go to the west side of town and start hanging out in all the Latin King hangouts, right? So, but going to Walgreens is like going to the south side of Chicago and hanging out in the gang territories, which you would never do. So where could people go now? I'm asking, where do all the, well-to-do people go for their pharmacy now? Because there's no way they're going there. That was very dangerous, but I saw this while I was waiting with all the black chicks buying their little bombers. I saw this. Buzzballs, thank you. I saw this and I go, when I walk back to the car, if I got...
Okay, so I think it was very interesting that the last time we were watching, the volume was not great. I had to adjust something, but everybody said it was fine. It must, please let me know that it's much better. The volume is better. Mic is louder. What's the other thing? Oh yeah. So this is where we left off on the last one. I'm thinking about going back to a couple of the parts because I don't think the audio is very good, but we'll see. And if you guys have requests about this episode, let me know, because this is going to be like a 15-20 minute guy until my Chinese food gets here. I realized something, like when I see people eat Chinese food in movies, those red boxes. What did I see it in today? It was a show or a movie, or yesterday. Anyway, it makes me crave Chinese food. So there's that. All right, guys, enjoy.
Got this in my hand. Jules is going to die. She's going to... 1995.
Chinese food, obviously.
I'm not looking to play it. She goes, oh my God, you're willing to play a book? Because these fucking people from Canada, they actually play board games. Not me.
Usually he gets me a Taylor Swift magazine.
I love board games.
They always have. In the magazine section, they have Taylor Swift magazines with her on the cover. It's a magazine that says Taylor Swift. I buy those. But I saw this Tucsanopoly. Look at this. The pieces are different, Jules. You could be a dog. And this is the piece I'm going to be. A hot pretzel. So this is perfect for me. The old Pueblo. That's where I live. Tucsanopoly. If you want a tour of where I live, get this game and tell me how it goes.
I wish they had Tucson-themed Settlers of Catan. That's what I really want to play.
I'll never play a fucking board game
so
as
good at
long
that
as
one.
I live. I don't want to hear about it, Jules. I don't want to even hear you talk about board games. Ever.
Mike took me to a brunch place once where they had board games there.
Yeah.
He made me leave.
I can't stand it. I can't stand like adults playing board games. To me is like the most sickening thing I could ever imagine. I got to write that down in my
love
book
board
of important
games and
notes.
card
Coming up
games.
later, maybe when I'm high, I'll tell you this book I'm keeping of stuff that you can't really talk about on the show. You can't really just talk about it, but it's still important. It's still something that you have to share. And this is a book. This book will be very valuable when I go. Remember, everything on this show is based around he's about to go. So let's put value in everything he does. Like Norm, if you could go back, remember when Norm died? If you could go back and value his last 2 weeks, you would. So you got to value me.
Sorry,
Thank
I
you.
was distracted when you were asking about buzz balls because Denny's already tweeting, complaining about us, saying his special is bad. We haven't even talked about it yet.
Denny is complaining about us. Can I see the tweets?
Some guy says,
Or just read it out loud?
Huh, well, color me shocked. Mike Redbar is seriously claiming the Goliath special by Josh Denny is awful. This is proof.
Denny is tweeting this right now!
This is a guy tweeting this to Denny.
Oh.
This is proof even professional trolls have zero comedic comprehension. Even Meek Mike's fans think Goliath was a banger and genuinely funny as fuck.
Is that like Meek Mill?
I guess.
Mike.
That's
But
cool.
who's the
Meek
author
Mike?
of this?
Didn't Meek Mill win the
op-ed?
battle against Drake?
Anyways, Josh retweeted that and said, color me shocked. Are you telling me they're reacting exactly how I predicted?
What is this, a troll?
Objectivity at all?
Josh Denny's special, and we have proof. The special. This is great. Coming up, proof that Josh Denny's special, one of the worst specials ever put on tape.
While Josh says cry face, cry face, cry face, he'd have said it sucked if Scorsese directed it, and his cult is the same way.
Yeah,
I
and
don't
guess what? The last
care.
Scorsese movie I said sucked. That Netflix one, it was awful. This is 1,000 times worse.
Killers of the Flower Moon was the most
How
recent.
interactive. Denny, do not interact with Redbar, please. Okay? I don't like that one bit.
You're a comedian now. You have a special. Think of Redbar as just a Denny roast.
This would be like if
Smile
somebody
and
said that
move on.
Redbar. Imagine if someone said Redbar's awful and I went publicly instead of saying, "Are you out of your mind?" You didn't think we were going to hate? We
Get
would have
it?
hated the special if it was the best special in the world. Personally,
So
we hate everything you touch. I fucking hate. Get that straight. Yeah, that's how bad you are, and that's how all of us are.
So
But your
technically,
special-
we agree. I don't know why he's so mad.
Well, no,
We
we
have
don't
the
agree
same
because that
opinion.
wasn't the case. Your special was an open mic level rambling of repeated jokes dating back to 2012. We've got it all. We've got edits. You're going to have the best time watching Denny's special with us. Denny, please do not ever mention my name again or we will be suing you.
And the guy who tweeted and called you Mike Redbar in the chat just said, that was me trolling Denny. Sorry.
You see this, Denny? You've been trolled.
Stupid.
I want to say this too. Oh, now you made me lose my thought.
I'm sorry.
It was about Denny. Oh, it was such
We'll
a good
get to
thing
it,
about
we'll
Denny.
get to
Okay,
it.
we'll get to it. Denny's special coming up. One of the best things you'll ever see. This was something where I'm like, this is going to be annoying to cover. This is going to be boring. Usually people stand up. The fool stand up is the most boring thing to cover because it's usually just mediocre, boring
He's
stand up.
husky, right?
Okay.
He's like
Not
sturdy.
this.
He's a big,
Denny somehow
sturdy dude.
managed to keep it so consistent
I know very
with his
little
fool's
about him. I
behavior. I
just
said
think
this to
it's so
Xander. I
funny
said, this is the most
how
consistent fool
Mike
we've
has
ever
this
had.
thing of-
Every other fool kind of starts learning a little bit along the way, especially one as old as Denny is. Not Denny. He almost gets worse. He degrades as the years go on and gets more diluted. It's wonderful, and we're here to celebrate Denny's special. It's good enough that I'll spend over an hour on it today. It's good enough. It's so good, even if you hated Denny coverage, which I've never heard anyone say that, but even if you hated it, you're going to love this because it's that good.
We should probably just dedicate this day to Xander. He's worked so hard for this. for
Xander
so
did a
many
great job.
years.
We'll do it when we cover Denny. That's coming up 9 hours from now. So, what was I going to say? Oh, yeah, Denny. Here's my point. So Nick Reta, You know Nick Reta, the steel toe guy that went to jail because he was having a threesome with April and his wife.
And we love
He had
him.
5 kids. He was arrested for having all the drugs in his house. Aaron's in a big daily fight with him. But
What's
Nick
a
Reta
grifter?
can never talk about
What's the definition of a
anything
grifter?
that's going on because he's
Is a
got this
grifter
big
like,
murder trial or drug trial coming up. Oh, this is important to any
a grifter
steel-toe
like,
Nick Reta people out there. I don't know if this has
somebody
been
that does,
mentioned because
like-
I don't follow any Nick
He's not a
Reta or
drifter.
steel-toe stuff
He's a
anymore.
grifter. So he
But Nick
moves around,
Reta
but
has
he
a thing that he
steals
always
people's
says
stuff,
because
and he's
Aaron,
kind of gross.
steel-toe Aaron is constantly
Is that
telling,
close?
10-hour-long stories that detail everything Nick Reta has done for the last 6 months, and it's very damning stuff. And it's stuff that you go, I can't believe, Nick Reta probably wants to respond. He probably has something totally different to say. He probably's got a whole different story than what Aaron's been telling us. But Nick Reta never says that Aaron's lying. Or maybe he does. But he always says this. He goes,
because I have to do this short tonight.
hope you get
and my
everything
Chinese
you
food is
want, and
coming
I hope
soon,
you
I'm
end up
gonna go
making $1
to,
million. Have you heard this? He says this all the time.
forward.
Aaron said, you know what Aaron said about Nick Reta is the worst stuff you could ever imagine. The most embarrassing stuff. I would kill myself if stories like that about me were to come out. But Nick Reta keeps cool. Maybe he doesn't keep cool, but he always says this. He always has this line. He goes, I hope he gets everything he wants, and I hope he makes $1 million. Buy it in a Marrakesh. Is that what she said?
Normal.
Did you buy it in Marrakesh?
Standard.
Voice that he's got. He's trying to be like an actor. All Saints.
Shtick where
okay.
he
Let's check one out. I haven't seen these. Okay. So he's doing his thing where he
Hi,
tries
Gail.
to troll the
I'm
news.
so happy
Is
that you're
what this
here.
is? Sam Morril trolling the news. I just thought maybe we'd
Recline
show
it.
Sam Morril first. Before we get into
No
this,
big
all this
deal.
horse shit about him. Oh, wow. He's looking good. That's Al Sharpton. Didn't Al Sharpton used to wear a
That
cowboy hat
is
and
Al
sell cocaine?
Sharpton. I was like, that guy
He
looks
would
a lot
buy
like an
cocaine, I'm
old
sorry.
Al Sharpton.
Remember, there was a time in our life where we would all... Al Sharpton was a part of our lives here.
not me.
He was a big part of my life with George
I mean,
Bush.
you heard his name. He was
And
very
all those
controversial.
guys.
I actually
I
forgot
was real into
why.
politics back during
He was super
George
controversial in like
Bush. I loved it. Okay, let's see what this
the
crap
early
is here.
2000s, right? The Reverend Al Sharpton, because he got real political.
Stand-up comedians that we
So Al Sharpton's got one of these like Piers Morgan type shows, which I thought nobody was watching. Do you know Piers Morgan? That show he's got on YouTube gets like millions of views. Yeah, like we were watching an episode that was up from like 3 hours ago. It had 3 million views. So this is Morning Joe. Morning Joe. Maybe Al Sharpton's a fill-in guest here, or a fill-in host. Let's see. There's the Penny back there. I've never seen the Penny in person. That's the Penny, Jules. The U.S. Penny.
I've never. Oh yes, of course.
Okay, here is Sam Morril. Let's see. I've never seen this yet. Let's see.
known through the years, or is this, in your mind, a new innovation, new generation? I'm gonna do my own thing.
When you're starting, I think you're always doing an impression of someone else
Whoa,
in any
so it's
form
like
of entertainment.
Frozen
but then
with
as
their
you keep
picture,
going,
it's
you
just their
hopefully become
voices?
you. I would hope. I feel like Al
That's a
Sharpton would
weird
be a Sam
picture
Morril.
to
He
freeze
does
on.
an impression of George Clooney, and he's hoping that everyone's going to think he's a massive hunk. This is another one of these faux hunks. Believe it or not, he's a real ladies' man, as in he's obsessed with this whole dating culture. He's the guy who goes to the bar, and he stands up while a girl's like sitting at the bar stool, and he comes next to her and he goes,
That guy looks familiar, but I don't know
what
who
brings you here tonight? He's all that. He's like trying to be suave. He really has this suave thing that he tries to do. This whole voice that he's got. He's trying to be like an actor.
He's not doing the faux part very good though.
No.
He doesn't work out.
No, but he
doesn't-
thinks that he's... And wait to hear about his clothes.
Maybe this is
That's what we're gonna...
a little subsector, like a New York faux hunk, because that's not the same as hunks from other cities.
Yeah, this could be a little different. This is like a New York bar faux hunk. Okay, let's just...
Hi,
I
Angela.
remember Justin Bieber got a lot of crap for when he went to Anne Frank's house, and in her
Mike
book he wrote,
knows how
I
to
think she
get in
would have
touch
been a
with me.
believer.
Yes, I would.
Right.
But that's how I feel about Al Sharpton.
Fredo.
Well,
I think
give
he
people
likes
Fredo Le Fond.
And he's always sitting like this.
Kung Fu Panda.
And Frank, Al Sharpton,
He's always like this.
babies, guns, it all gets
So
kind
still.
of random.
I think he'd like to
Wait,
say
hold on,
I
hold
really
on.
do.
That's a
We have
really
a
funny
new
comment.
stand-up special,
Wait,
Sam
I'll tell you.
Morril. You've changed.
There it is. See? Ooh.
So funny. It's sometimes I'm talking to you guys like we're on the phone. I'm like, hold on a second, hold on. Wait. So Kung Fu Panda just said AI had a weird decade where you know how I read that, Kung Fu Panda? AI had a weird decade where they kept advocating for guilty people. Isn't that funny? You wrote Al had a weird decade. Al Sharpton had a weird decade of where he kept advocating for guilty people. So funny. Interesting. Yeah, and to what end? Like, do you remember any of them, Kung Fu Panda?
Did you mean to look like
One of
OJ?
those Did he advocate for OJ?
Muslims
I bet he
that's
did.
bothering London or whatever they keep talking?
Fresh and fit, man.
This is what, you look like fresh and fit. You look like, when you go to London and you see like the Ariana Grande
Hey,
concert
Gordon.
bomber.
Hey, Cooper.
Whoa! Look! Why did you, can I please tell somebody these? I like the idea that someone's out there bombing events
You do.
with a nail bomb. Why do you need to kill yourself? Don't do a suicide bombing. Put the backpack down, run, and press a button. Or do they not have the detonator technology? Is this the only problem? You don't have to kill yourselves in a suicide bombing, okay, you Akbars? You look like the guy who killed all those 23 people and injured over 1,000 at Ariana Grande's concert in London or Europe or Amsterdam or wherever that was. And let me tell you something, Ariana's never been the same.
Hi, Hermit Money.
Okay, she's all screwed up. Imagine if you were.
Yeah,
people
no,
don't talk
Kung Fu
about
Panda.
Ariana
I was
Grande.
thinking of
She's at a concert.
I'll
she's
tell you on a
singing
different live.
7 Rings or whatever. The concert lets
Tamara
out.
Rice
All
was
the
a
people
gem.
start filing out, and they're all in the lobby. And a guy just like this blows off a nail bomb. He's got a backpack about this big, a big back. They just let him in with a backpack. He's the reason why we have all these bag policies at concerts now, why we got to wear clear bags and bring nothing.
My
You know,
favorite
so I can't
color is
have all my
clear.
stuff. Can I even bring this to a concert? I bought this. Look at this. Let's see how loud it is.
It's really loud.
Wait.
Well,
That's not loud at all. Look at
Whoa.
that. Wait. Come on. See, the thing is, if
Sure,
it hits you,
says
it's
pleasure is in
Hold
the
on.
middle. It's so silly.
If it hits you, it stops. Very up. If it hits you, it stops.
put
Hold
the
on.
case on the bottom so it's taller and then it won't hit you.
Scars Club. Okay. Cock it this way. Is that loud?
I never thought those things
Kinda
would
loud.
ever
Let me
really
put it on.
work.
Halfway. How about that?
Oh, that's fine.
Look at that.
You can't hear it.
I'm a new man. I've got about 1,000 of these little Amazon fans. I'll tell you, of all different types. Look at this one. This looks like a Dyson hairdryer. I've got this one here. This is a flip out model. I am obsessed with buying these little fans. Whoa!
Whoa.
And I'll tell you,
Whoa.
this one, you wear it on your hip. Under your shirt, it blows
All
the
right, well,
air
I
up
can feel my
under your
training
shirt.
shoe
These things are
coming.
like a buck.
I hope you guys
$2.
are amazing.
You go on Amazon, type
this won't
in
be the official
portable
part
fan.
deux.
You could buy yourself $100 will get you almost a.
Again, always go to redbarradio.net, and it's only $11 a month. Thank you all that support me on Patreon and Super Chat or are members of the channel. Anything, everything, comments. Gosh, I feel like every creator that's like, gosh, they must hate going through saying all of this, and it's very annoying to hear. Like, subscribe, share, whatever. Do whatever you guys want to do. Have a great night. But I do always recommend you actually sign up for Redbar. It's only $11 a month, and you get a lot of episodes. All of these episodes from years and years. Doing Redbar Rewind is always fun. We haven't done that in a while. This is a great stopping point for Mike, by the way. So I'm having Chinese. That's what I'm doing. The show that I'm watching right now is called This Is Us. Have you guys seen it? This Is Us. Angela, you would like that show. Sonar would like that show. It's like a hug. It's kind of cheesy. It's kind of scripted. I mean, it is scripted. But what show? Like my friend Tiffany Woodward was like, I don't usually watch scripted shows, but I really like that one. And I'm like, aren't all like most shows scripted? I didn't know exactly what you meant by that, but there's 6 seasons. That makes me happy. It's a good show. You should check it out. And it's interesting, like the way that they do it and stuff. I haven't seen a show successfully done the way that they do, like the back and forth with things. I don't want to give anything away, but they do it really good. Bet $11. Best $11 you will ever spend. Yeah, and that's coming from Hermit Money. Hermit Money's rich. I can just tell. And rich people make smart decisions that make them get richer, like investing $11 a month in Mike and Jules. Wouldn't you agree, Hermit Money? He agrees. All right, guys, I'm out. Take care, and I'll see you next time.